Hi, welcome to the lecture number 2 on this channel. Today I'll discuss about the introduction and scope of cyber laws. This session will explore the legal landscape of cyber laws in India. So, in this lecture, I'll explain the concept of cyber laws in a comprehensive manner. Together, we will navigate the meaning of cyber laws, need for cyber laws, evolving cybercrime patterns, and cyber jurisprudence a little bit. In the end of this session, you will gain through the understanding of cyber law scope and the regulatory overview of legal structure established by IT Act as amended in 2008. So, before starting with the lecture, I would like to ask 3 questions from you. Number 1. How many of you are not having smartphone and internet? Question number 2. How many of you are not aware about Instagram, Facebook, ChatGPT, Twitter, and the latest developments in the technology? And third and the last question is, how many of you feel and believe that life without internet and smart gadget is more convenient and is more easier? So, if the answer of these 3 questions is yes, it means you are much behind the digital revolution and you have not updated yourself with the latest techniques and gadgets. And if the answer of these 3 questions is no, it means that we are already in the cyberspace. Since from the morning we wake up with the alarm clock on our mobile phones, and since still sleep, we are governed with the smart gadgets. Therefore, we need to accept this fact that we have entered into the digital space and this cyberspace has become integral part of our life. So, in this session, the objective is to make you understand cyber laws, to give little bit flavor about the cyber laws because the subject itself is very deeper and this session is going to be an overview for that. In this session, the second objective will be to learn the need for the cyber laws, then to explore the latest cyber crimes which are emerging, and then to understand little bit in a very brief way what are the legal framework and legislations on the regulation of cyber crimes which are mentioned in IT Act 2000, which was majorly amended in 2008, and the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Act 2023, which is the latest version of IPC 1860. So, what is the meaning of cyber laws? In a very simple way, cyber law refers to the legal framework that governs digital interactions, electronic transactions, and crimes committed through internet, computers, network, and digital platforms. So, what do you mean by digital interactions? डिजिटल इंटरेक्शंस मीन्स ऑल द कॉन्वर्सेशंस जो हम इंटरनेट पर और विद द हेल्प ऑफ सोशल मीडिया एप्लीकेशंस चैट्स ईमेल्स जो भी डिजिटल इंटरेक्शंस हम एक दूसरे से चैट करते हैं वी कन्वे मैसेजेस टू द अदर पर्सन दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटरेक्शन जो भी हम वार्तालाप करते हैं एक दूसरे को मैसेजेस सेंड करते हैं दैट इज डिजिटल इंटरेक्शंस व्हाट इज इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ट्रांजैक्शंस everything which is in online shopping and where we are transacting. Online shopping में हम क्या करते हैं? We transfer our money from one platform to another platform. The major examples are Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. All these websites are helping us in electronic transactions. जब हम अपना पैसा एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे ट्रांसफर करते हैं in exchange of the goods or services. And crimes committed through internet, computer, network and digital platforms. और हर किस्म के क्राइम जो हम पढ़ेंगे इस सब्जेक्ट में वो सब इसके स्कोप में कवर होते हैं साइबर लॉज उनको डील करता है So this specialized area of law encompasses privacy regulations also. It means in this subject we will study TPDP Act also, cybersecurity standards also, e-commerce rules and digital forensics, as well as artificial intelligence also, because all these provisions are within the purview of cyber laws. Now, another important thing is, why do we need to understand cyber laws? Suppose I say मुझे ज़रूरत नहीं है, I do not want to understand cyber laws. So therefore, we need to understand that, is this subject important for me? Should I study this subject or not? So there are few points with the help of the importance of cyber laws. And the number one point is individual protection. We need to understand cyber laws because it safeguards citizens from cyber frauds. Yeah. Where will we go? To whom we will report? We need to know the procedure and mechanism. Only then we can protect our rights. Then cyber stalking. Cyber stalking is a very is a popular crime. Like, nobody knows that it is a crime even, because cyber stalking is not a crime till it is not affecting. So we will study this crime in detail in the upcoming lectures also. Then identity theft. Your identity has been stolen by someone else. So where will you go? It means we need to understand cyber laws and other digital crimes that target personal information and assets. So we need to understand what are the laws for protecting our privacy. Number two, data protection. Nowadays, data is an asset. Our data, our personal information and sensitive personal information is very important. So how do we know who is regulating our information, who is regulating, gathering, collecting and processing our personal data? How will we understand regulation? Only from the cyber laws. Thirdly, national security. Our nation is our prior responsibility. So, in order to prevent cyber terrorism, hacking of critical infrastructure and data breaches that could compromise national security integrity of India, it is very important to understand cyber laws. And most importantly, digital economy. Our entire economy is revolutionized because of internet, because of e-commerce, e-business and digital platforms. And these online business transactions have become a daily routine. Therefore, we need to understand that what are the laws for regulating all these transactions. So, do we need cyber laws? क्या हमें cyber laws की ज़रूरत है? Is it possible that everything is good to go? There is no fraud, there is no problem, so we do not need cyber laws. So, digital technology has connected our world but created complex challenges. For that, we need legal framework. So it means we need cyber laws. Number one, we need cyber laws because there are jurisdiction issues. What are jurisdiction issues? Jurisdiction issues are very complex. Suppose a person who is a perpetrator of a crime is sitting outside India. Maybe that person is sitting in Canada, but that person is targeting the people or citizens in India. So here, two countries have emerged where the planning is initiated and where the effect is done. So now, jurisdiction problem will come. And we have seen in India that अगर एक state में crime होता है, suppose in UP, and we need to investigate certain parts of the crime in Kerala, so there are a lot of approvals we need. अगर इंडिया की ही दो स्टेट में इन्वेस्टिगेशन करनी है तो jurisdiction problems are there and we need a lot of approvals. Just imagine अगर हमने investigation India and outside abroad किसी और country में करनी है, the problems would be very complex. So because of jurisdiction problems, there are so many times cyber crime investigation अच्छे से नहीं हो पाती. So we need cyber laws so that we can do it easily and conveniently. Therefore, jurisdiction issues की वजह से इनको solve करने के लिए we need adequate and universal cyber laws. Number two, वी नीड साइबर लॉज क्योंकि हमारे लॉज में बहुत सारी डेफिनेशंस हैं जो आउटडेटेड हो चुकी हैं. There are so many laws which have become outdated. Because they were outdated, tabhi there are three important legislations they have come, that instead of IPC there is BNS, instead of Indian Evidence Act there is Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, and instead of CRPC we have BNSS 2023. Because so many things were outdated, इस वजह से साइबर लॉज में भी बहुत चीज़ें ऐसी थी जो लॉज में नहीं थी. इस वजह से we have come up with the new laws and we need cyber laws. Number third, emerging cyber crimes. Every day new crimes are emerging. Technology is growing so fast that we cannot beat the level of crimes which are committed in the traditional world. But the way cyber crimes are increasing, such as deepfake, extortion, AI-driven identity theft, crypto frauds, we need updated cyber laws. So, what are the next points? Growing digital connectivity. On the one hand side, digital connectivity has made our life so easier. It's very easy to connect people. It is very easy to grow our network, to grow our business, to make good connections. But on the other hand side, there are certain threats. Like there is anonymity. हमें पता ही नहीं हम किससे, because in digital world, everything is email and digit. So we don't know with whom we are talking. That actually that person is the same or someone else. There are so many data breaches, online harassments, anonymity, creating unprecedented challenges for the society. So, another need for the cyber laws is AI technology laws. Traditional legal framework falls short against the threat due to AI that cross national boundaries, requiring specialized approaches. So, in the last, we need cyber laws so that we can maintain protection of personal rights as well as balance with the rights of the nation at large. So, therefore, we need cyber laws so that we can address the upcoming challenges. In order to deal with all those emerging threats, we have Information Technology Act 2000. It was enacted in 2000 as India's first major legislation addressing digital crimes and electronic commerce. Now, what happened in 2000 when IT Act came into existence? It came under the influence of UN Citral Model Law. So, what happened? It is criticized a lot by saying that that Information Technology Act has emerged as a hurry legislation. Therefore, a major amendment came in 2008 to address the emerging crimes and challenges. And then another major amendment was made when Section 66A was struck down in the case of Shreya Singhal vs. Union of India 2015 by Supreme Court. And now, in order to respond to the latest technology, the rules and regulations are coming up regularly. So, if we see the evolution of cyber laws in India, the first legislation was 2000, India's first cyber legislation. It got majorly amended in 2008. Then in 2015, with Shreya Singhal case, Section 66A was struck down. Then in 2017, the right to privacy was recognized as a fundamental right with the landmark case of K.S. Puttaswamy by Supreme Court. And the credit for these upcoming legislations, the DPDP Act 2023, goes to this judgment, in which it was laid down that the right to privacy is a fundamental right. Thank you so much. I'll come with the next lecture soon. Thank you.